Will the SIM-free iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max, and iPhone XR be available for sale soon? Hey guys, today you probably saw the big news or heard the big news that Apple released 3 new iPhone X models, the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, and the iPhone XR. And today I want to talk about the SIM-free versions of those phones. If you're interested in using the iPhone X with a prepaid wireless service, your best bet is going to be to buy the SIM-free unlocked model of the iPhone X directly from Apple. Now, there are a few things we need to understand here. First, we want to understand how many different models there are for each of these phones. Ideally, if you're going to spend full price on any of these iPhone X phones, you want to get one that's going to be compatible with all 4 major networks in the US. That's AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint. And then second, when are these phones going to be available? So first, let's check out the model numbers. We'll start with the iPhone XS. Now let's take a look at the tech specs. So anytime you want to see how many different models of these phones are available, you just find the tech specs and then scroll down to the cellular and wireless section. You want to see how many different models they have listed. Now, here they have 2 models listed, A1920 and A1921. So the A1920 must be the iPhone XS, and the A1921 must be the iPhone XS Max. So good news, it looks like there's only one model of each of these phones available, and that one model is going to support all 4 major networks in the US. So if you were to buy the AT&T version, the Sprint version, the T-Mobile version, the Verizon version of the iPhone XS or the iPhone XS Max, they're all going to be the A1920 or A1921. That means the phones are compatible with all 4 major networks in the US. So that's great news. And that also means for the iPhone XS, the SIM-free model should be the A1920. And for the iPhone XS Max, the SIM-free model should be the A1921. All right, now let's check the same thing for the iPhone XR. We'll check the tech specs. And then down here in cellular and wireless, it looks like there's just one model available, again, the A1984. So that's going to be the model that they sell for all 4 carriers, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon. It also means that the SIM-free iPhone XR will be the A1984. Now, this is great news because it means if you have a phone from any of the 4 major carriers, as long as it's unlocked, it's going to work with the other 3 carriers. Previously, with the iPhone 8 models and the iPhone 7 models, they were carrier specific. So there was one phone that was for AT&T and T-Mobile, and then another phone for Verizon and Sprint. And the Verizon and Sprint phone was compatible with all 4 networks, and those were the models that were sold as the SIM-free phones. But this year, it looks like one model of phone that works with all 4 networks. So that's great news. All right, now let's talk about availability. For the iPhone XS, you're going to be able to order one of these starting on Friday, September 14th. If we select the iPhone XS here, you need to select your carrier. And we can see they show the 4 major carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint. And they also show the SIM-free model here. Now, just because they have the SIM-free model here doesn't mean you're going to be able to order it on 9/14. In the past, Apple has always held back the SIM-free models of their latest iPhones for weeks and sometimes months, focusing on selling the carrier phones. Now, if I recall correctly, with the iPhone X last year, they listed the SIM-free model on the website, but when it came time to order one, you couldn't actually get one. Now for the iPhone XS, a phone from any of these 4 carriers will work with the other 3 carriers as long as it's unlocked. So if you're going to pay full price to get one of these phones, make sure you check to see if it's unlocked. Sometimes the carriers may require that the phones are locked for 30 days or 60 days for use on their network before they will unlock them. Now, if I recall correctly from last year with the iPhone X, if you tried to buy one of these phones online to order it, once you chose a carrier, you needed to enter in your carrier account information, your phone number, so that they could go through and set up your phone. So if you didn't have an account with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint, it wasn't possible to order one of these phones unless you were going to sign up for a new service. And then maybe a week or 2 later, the SIM-free model still wasn't available, but you could choose one of the carrier options and buy the phone without an account just by saying you wanted to activate it later. And then finally, a few weeks after that, the SIM-free models were available. So we'll see on Friday whether or not you're able to buy the SIM-free version of the iPhone XS and the iPhone XS Max. And I'll just go back here and we'll look for the iPhone XS Max, and it shows the SIM-free model here as well. Now for the iPhone XR, now you won't be able to order this phone until October 19th, so that's still over a month away. And if we look here, they do not have the SIM-free model listed. But the same thing holds true here. If you were able to get one of these phones from any of the 4 carriers, it would be compatible with the other 3, provided the phone is unlocked. And again, we'll need to see when October comes around whether they add the SIM-free option here and whether they add the option to activate later. All right, what about you guys? Are any of you interested in the new iPhone XS, XS Max, or XR? Hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think. That's going to be it for this video, and I will talk to you later.